Willow Creek Somatics, and I just wanted to drop in or spin around and say this is a really great time to invest in your health. And we all across the world, COVID-19 is brought us to a challenging time in our lives. And so I'm internally, looking at this internally, getting in touch with my own sensations, and I know what it feels like as a body movement teacher and coach. I know what it feels like when you have upset or worry or fear or doubt in your body, and it just tightens up and it creates a whole mess of tension in our whole system. And I also know what it's like when you're living in flow and everything is just wonderful and you feel this freedom and expansiveness in your body. And if you are at that place where you feel trapped in tension because of the unknowns, and businesses are being affected, our families are being affected, like this globally, everything is being affected by this virus. So for me, I'm stepping back, and I feel like it's just a time to say stop. Stop everything that you are doing. Look at yourself and care for it. It feels like we're just being forced to everywhere to just stop and give yourself attention. Give yourself the care it needs. And it's a great time to invest in your health right now. So I teach movement classes. I have people coming to me for one-on-ones. That's all come to a grinding halt, right? We're all distancing ourselves from one another. So not good for business, no, but I am just looking at this as an opportunity to stop and really ground myself in my somatic movement practice, because I know my somatic movement practice keeps me in flow, and it doesn't let the tightness that our muscles create in our body hang out for too long, because if that tightness hangs out too long, then we start manifesting disease and chronic pain and da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Do you follow me? Would you agree? Does this make sense? So you might wonder, well, what is this somatic practice all about? And that's maybe something you don't know that's out there in the world. And it is follow the tradition of Thomas Hanna, and it's clinical somatics that I offer to people to get rid of their muscle tightness, so it just doesn't turn and fester into a big deal in the body. And I want to say that this is relevant for everyone. We all have something in common because we all have muscles, and it affects the muscles in our body are always responding to the highs and the lows in life. And right now, you might feel like you're hitting a low because of what's going on out in the world. And it's just, we're not used to stopping and, isolating ourselves. And we're just very, very much social creatures, right? So this can be challenging. So it's just something to think about. And I'm trying to think, the negativity, the negative energy that I put into this it just starts to create my own suffering, or I start to create my own suffering. So just trying to look at it, put a positive spin on it, and make the best of it. And so this is not, I just want to clarify, this is not an opportunity for me to sell my services. This is an opportunity for me to, how can I help? How can I help serve? And with my current client base, I help them free up tension in their body. That's my job, and that's my passion. So I am creating this video, and I posted it in a few different places to hopefully grab people's attention. You have more time at home now. You have more time to invest in your self-care. And when you invest in your self-care, it's a really good return, okay? So I am going to be offering free online somatic movement classes. And it's within a group, a Facebook group that I created a year ago called Soma Sisters. And it's been a ladies group because I have a women's program, and it all started that I wanted to create a group to support women. Now, there's men out there that very much need my work too, and I do work with men, and I'm getting some more male clients now this year, more compared to last year, which is great. And I'm married to a male. He has all kinds of tension. He's my biggest client. So I want to offer these somatic movement classes to men too if they're interested. So I'm like so close to like opening up the floodgates in Soma Sisters and changing it to Soma Sisters and Misters to welcome the men in as well. You know, maybe it can be a family thing. You know, get the whole family doing somatics and just really drop into your body and release the tension that we might be starting to accumulate with all of this uncertainty. Okay. So just something to think about. And I'm going to, at the bottom of this video, in the content, I'm going to provide a link, and it'll take you over to, it'll take you into the invite zone, and then I look at it and accept it. So let me know, guys, if this is of interest, and you might be going, well, I don't even know what this somatics is. I don't even know what we do. So let's do a little session here, okay? So if you are listening to this video right now and you don't have the time, that's okay. Come back to this later. And so you can, you know, are in a place free of distractions, and you can fully embody just this few movements that I'm going to introduce to you. So if this is new to you, this is a really good time just to be by yourself and experience this. Or if you're experiencing it with someone right now, just be quiet and just really be in your own zone. So what I know to be true is our bodies are designed to go into that fight or flee response when we have to, you know, move forward quickly in life. So when we move forward quickly in life, our muscles down the back line of our body are contracting to move us forward. There are green light go muscles, okay? And if life is demanding, and you might have a lot of demands right now with everything that's going on, or maybe not. So those demands, you know, make you go forward, and those muscles are tightening. And so they are doing their job, and that's great, but you don't want over time for them to just keep tightening and tightening and tightening and tightening and tightening to the point where they just stay on and they're like, we're just going to stay tight because that's what this person seems to want to do with us. So it's important to rebalance it so that you don't get into this stuck pattern of tightness, okay? Then there's also another response in our body that is, it's hardwired into our system, and it's to protect us, right? So if we are threatened or feel danger, we want to cover our vitals, right? Our vital organs. It's a withdrawal response. So if you're really doom and gloom and depression, it's just you want to just move in to your center and make yourself small. And what that does is it tightens the front line of the body. So it tightens the chest. It's restricting the length of the lungs, right? Like, so we're not able to get a full breath. Everything's crumpled down here. We're not actively using the breathing diaphragm. Then we become a chest breather. And it just, it creates a prison in our body. So just like being stuck in that go, this is the caution, red light, stop response. So important to come out of that. So I'm going to share with you today a somatic movement called the arch and release and the flatten and release. And this is to combat when you're stuck in green light or you're stuck in red light, or you might be stuck between both. So you got both sides of the body duking it out. So typically in my movement classes, I do it on the floor. Usually classes are done lying on your back, on your sides, on your stomach. But you can take somatics on the road. You really can do it anywhere. And so I recognize that some of you will be new to somatics. So I'm going to do a simple version of it sitting in a chair. So this is something you can do at home. This is something you can do if you have a driving position. You can stop and do it standing. You really can do it. So the key here is I'm going to use a technique called pendiculation. And what this technique does is it helps you turn off muscles that are staying tight. So it's a 3-phase process. So the first phase of it is you're going to ever so slightly, gently tighten those muscles a little bit tighter than they might already be. So the point is that it gets the brain's attention because it's the brain that controls all of the muscles, right? If you've never thought about that before, without the brain, muscles would do absolutely nothing. So it's the brain and the muscles that have this relationship. And that relationship goes sideways if they just decide to stay on all the time because we train them that way. So let's look at the pendiculation, the first phase of tightening a little bit tighter. So we're recreating the pattern of tightness so that we can regain control to come out of it. So you start to release out of that pattern of tightness, and then you let it go, right? You relax. You give time to integrate that as new muscle length in the body, right? You're giving those muscles permission to take a break. So through this exploration and through practice, through time, you begin to get back into the driver's seat of controlling your muscles. So I'm going to hop onto the stool behind me, grab a chair whenever you're watching this to experience it. And hope you just experience it and be open-minded to it and really drop in your body and notice what this can offer you. Okay, so come on into a seated position. And I like using my stool here because then I'm not sitting back in a chair or my arms aren't being on an armrest. Like I am totally coming into, everything's at 90-degree angles and thinking knees are in line with hips ankles align with knees. And really what I'm going for here is the connection to my sit bones, okay? So don't be shy, get in there, dig in, find your sit bones. So your sit bones, your ischiotubers, they're like your feet when you stand, right? When you stand, your feet are supporting you. When you sit, your sit bones support you. So it's important when you sit to notice what your posture is, right? Are you in that big arch position of, I gotta get stuff done, and that frantic, and everything back here is just tightening up, okay? And, or you might be the reverse. You're like stuck on a computer all day, or you're on your iPad or your iPhones, whatever type of device. Then you can see how the front is affected and gets tight. So the pelvis is tilting in green light, and the pelvis is tucking in the red light. So we're looking for a place to be in the middle. And if you're used to living here, and you're used to living here, or you're used to living in both areas at the same time, it might be really hard to find your way back to, you know, what's neutral? I don't know what that is. So through time, you'll figure that out. So set this up, connect to your sit bones. Really, a firm surface is ideal. And we're just gonna breathe. Like I've been, talking so quickly, which typically isn't my style. And you can probably hear my breath is very hurried. So we're gonna drop into our bodies. We're gonna connect to our sit bones. We're gonna land, and we're gonna block out everything that's going on in the world right now. And if that thought, just as that thought had an effect on me, I feel it affecting my gut, I feel it affecting my lungs, I feel it affecting my throat, and I feel this emotion bubbling up. You can hear it in my voice. It's very real of what's going on, okay? So if I live with this fear about what's going on out there, this does not serve me well. It does not serve me well. It makes me feel icky. So just stop. Let's just stop and breathe and let this movement of your beautiful breathing diaphragm muscle do its job. So hands on your belly. I like to get in under there and feel my belly. And feel it move. So as you inhale, let the belly expand, right? Let the breath get as far as it can, and then let it go. Keep breathing. And if you start to leak, it's okay. It's clear out the leakiness. Right? It's just congestion that you don't want in. So get it out. So it doesn't stay in there, right? So come back to the breath and notice, maybe I can't get my breath down to the gut. Maybe it just feels like it's stuck here. That's okay. You just gently persuade it to come down here. Inhale, belly expands. Hands move out, they rise, and on your exhale, the belly moves back in, it sinks. You inhale, this breathing diaphragm that sits under your ribcage, it goes down. And on the exhale, comes up. It's like an internal massage for your organs. And we breathe deep, we get the full capacity of our lungs, and our richest oxygen just lies in the lower lobes of the lungs, so we just stir that up and purge out this old stagnant air that might be stuck. Inhale, think of the belly softening, not tightening. Inhale, let it go. Exhale. Let all your fears, your worries, your doubts leave with that out breath. Now start paying attention to when you take a breath in, what happens in your back? Does it mildly contract? Let's take a more expansive yawn or breath and welcome it in yawn. So, and as you're doing that, pay attention to what happens into your back. Can you feel it contract and arch? Mild of contraction. So we're going to build on that, and we're going to go into this green light, go muscles, gotta get stuff done mode. So I'm going to turn sideways here, and I'm going to place a hand on my back, and I'm going to place a hand on my, on my belly. So I'm going to inhale, I'm going to let my belly move out, and I'm going to let my back arch. So I feel my sit bones, I'm coming off of them now, I'm losing that groundedness. I'm creating this arch in my back, which is tightening my back. And then look at where my head goes, or notice where your head goes. It just goes up into the clouds. So we need to see forward in life, unless we're sky gazing or cloud watching. But the reality is we move forward, and we need to see where we're going, and we need to see the horizon. So the chin is going to come down. So we're creating this pattern of tightness, recreating this green light reflex, so we can not live in it, right? So we're highlighting in this in our brain as this is the tightness, and then you're softening out. So softening, 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 coming out of the arch and feeling the sit bones ground again, and feeling the belly settle in. Letting the head come back to a more neutral relationship with the spine. And then we're going to do that again. Inhale, let the belly move out. We're moving from the center, and that center is just luring the back into this arch. So ideally the front is soft and expanding while the back is doing the job of contracting. Chin gently comes down. Notice the tightness back here, all the way down. And then soften out of this tightness so you don't stay stuck there. Soften, 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 soften. Come back to the foundation of standing on your sit bones. And let's try this again in silence. Breathe as needed. Pause when you come out of it and just sense and notice what that experience was like for you. You know, did it offer you anything? What does it feel like compared to when you first started? Come back to the breath. Let's take a big breath and let's shrug our shoulders up to our ears. And this time we're going to approach it like, yeah, stuff's happened in the world. Oh well, this too shall pass. Let it go. Try and find the playfulness in this, the fun, if you can. And now we're going to talk about, or we're going to explore what's called the flatten. And why it's called the flatten is we flatten this arch. So whether your arch is a deep contracted arch, or whether it's just your, your neutral, comfortable letting go arch, we're going to flatten the back. And as we flatten the back, the front shortens, okay? So take a breath in to get ready for this. And this time on the exhale, let the belly sink in. And notice as it sinks in how everything is just pulled forward. And then come out of it. Inhale, just, I don't want to live here in that tightness. Exhale, let's try that again. So belly comes in. Notice how it pulls the ribs down. It pulls the chest down. It pulls the shoulders down. And we just curl into a ball. Maybe even feel the knees moving in. But we need to see our computer screens or TV or whatever application. So bring your chin up. And here we're recreating that red light, startle, caution, withdrawn pattern of tightness. Notice how that feels. And we don't want to live here. So you're going to come on out. So you'll start to feel the belly starts to soften. The ribs start to open up. The chest starts to expand. The shoulders come back. And you just come right back into, that connection to the sit bones. Okay? Let's explore this together. Take another breath in. Exhale. Sinking the belly. Ribs, chest, shoulders. Let the head come down. Feel how the back rounds. Bring the head up. Here's your typical computer slump. This might feel over-exaggerated and look over-exaggerated, but this is how the muscles underneath our skin are responding. I can't breathe here. Come on out. Inhale. Let go of the tightness from your center so it can offer freedom everywhere else outside that center. Coming in again on an exhale. Shrinking down. Notice. Hard to breathe. The diaphragm can't move. The lungs are scrunched. And tension anymore. You open up and expand. Do one on your own in silence when you're ready, moving at your own pace. Pendiculate, slow, controlled release out so you do not stay stuck in that prison of tightness. And then you just settle, you soften, and you notice if there's anything else holding on. Come back to sitting on your sit bones. Come back to your breath. So I welcome, like this, if this resonates with you, share this with others and explore this in your own body, wherever you can, whenever possible. You're not going to do 50 of them. You only need to do a few of the arch and release, a few of the flat and release, maybe 3, 5. But just see what that can offer you. And it's just a time out in, all of the unknown right now. Just stopping and dropping in, landing in your body, feeling your own sensations and noticing how it's having an effect on you mentally, emotionally, and physically, and free yourself from that. Okay, and return to it. This is your new tool to use, and we're not, like, if you are reliant on others to get rid of your tension, know that you are designed to get rid of this tension yourself. Okay, so you're not getting out for your regular massages because they're shut down, and chiropractors and there's so many modalities, including mine, that are affected. So, I just want to offer this to you as an opportunity to give yourself some self-care, because we do have the power and the capability to free ourselves from that tension that might be mounting. Okay? So, if this is appealing to you, join my Soma sisters and misters. I know it's corny. Facebook group, and join me for free live classes. I'm going to have a weekly class that you can explore on your own. So it's going to be either it's a pre-recorded class or a live class. I'm still figuring that out. But nonetheless, if you are worried about, I'm not going to maybe be able to join live, there's always the playback, right? So the playback is going to be there for you to watch it at your convenience. What I would just love to ask from you is just to share, right? Just share this. Me and my fellow somatic educators, we just want to get this work out into the world and, remind you that you have the tools to really unlock your own suffering so that it doesn't turn into something long-standing, right? So if it's just joining me to breathe, great. Maybe you get some sort of meditation out of this. Movement, we need movement. Our bodies need to move. And if we're stuck in a prison of tightness, that's not moving. It's not living, right? So join me in creating this somatic movement. If you have any questions, please ask. I am still, I do take clients over Zoom online, so while this is, I'm not able to work with people one-to-one, I can certainly do this online. So if you're like wanting a face-to-face online with me, I'm here for that. Yeah, I'm going to stop there because I'm going to start rambling, and that's typical for me. Just checking, I was making some little notes here. I just wondered if I touched on everything. I kind of just ignored them. I think really just, again, I'm just looking this as a gift. The technology that we have, I'm grateful for the technology we have, so we can still get together virtually. Like it's just amazing. Okay, so take care of yourself. And I hope to see you in my practice, live or on video. And I would love to hear any feedback, any questions, any shares, any ahas. I welcome them all, okay? So please take care of yourself. Take this time to invest in your health, okay?